Amortization tables. Okay, that's on page 37. And page 32, I already have mine marked like that, earmarked. So I know where to go quickly to look up these values. Okay, so let's get at it. Some of you will recognize this. Some of you will only need one line, and then you're going to be like, I remember this, right? So amortization tables basically show the breakdown of the loan and of the payments themselves. Amortization is just how long, right? Amount of time required to pay off loan. And let's do an example here. Jamal purchased a vehicle for $12,000. He had to borrow $10,000. So what happened there? From here to here, there's a $2,000 down payment. Okay. So the vehicle is worth 12 grand. 2,000 he had saved up, right? So that means that you need to borrow 10,000. This is what we call a loan. Okay. This interest rate is what we usually give it the letter R. And the 3 is usually the term, or T. It's up to you what you want to call it. But just so you have, when I'm using formulas, you know what I'm referring to. So let's calculate the monthly payment first. So this is a bit of a refresher. You should have a formula on your study sheet that goes like this. Payment. This is under financing. This is not under leasing. Okay. Payment is what? Loan. Our loan is 10 grand, correct? We determined that. We need to borrow that much. That's my loan. We need to multiply it by a table rate divided by 1,000. So we're going to go get that table rate on page 32. Okay, so you come with me. Page 32, so I'm going to match 3 years worth 4.25. So that's 29.69, okay, right there. Take that with you. 29.69 per $1,000, right? It's not 100, it's per 1,000. The table tells you that. And then you grab your calculator, 10,000 times 29.69 divided by 1,000. No surprise, right? The payment is $296.90. That's step number 1. If it's a completely empty table, you need to figure out the payment. This is from finance, right? Vehicle, like actually doing the loans section. You take that number with you and you plug it in to every cell. We're going to do 3 months worth of payments, guys. 3 months. So make sure you copy this, right? You want to have one example copied and one that you did today. Okay. 296.90 goes in here. And let's do that for every cell, because once you sign the papers, that doesn't change. Your monthly payment does not change. And I'm going to zoom in now. So $296.90. And remember with the iPad, I showed you how every payment has both components. Under here, you're going to go lowercase I. Right? The interest, the monthly interest is what we call lowercase I. And the money towards principal is what we call lowercase p. I'm going to put the formulas down in the gray zone here. This is the one you should start with. If you need to calculate it, I is this. Loan times rate divided by 100. All of that divided by 12. I hope you can read that, but you have the formula anyways, right? That should be your starting point. So let's go. I made these boxes bigger so we can do the math right in there. So the loan is 10,000. I will do this for the first round. I will actually go 4.25%. I'm going to divide that by 100. And that answer I'm going to divide by 12. I encourage you to grab your calculators and just make sure you understand how this works. So 10,000 times 4.25. You multiply by the top and you divide by what's underneath. So this times 4.25 divided by 100 is 425, but you need to divide it by 12, remember? So don't forget, this portion that you're calculating cannot be bigger than your payment because you're breaking down the payment. So you get 35.42. There we go. Clear your screen. For this part right here, to get the principal, we're just going to take our payment and subtract lowercase I. Because remember, these two add up to your payment. So if you have lowercase I, just subtract them. We're going to go 296.90 minus 35.42. And if you want full marks, make sure every cell has a dollar mark. 296.90 minus 35.42 is 261.48. And now, this portion right here, the bank shaves this off, right? Your payment comes in, takes from the account, they take this much, and then this brings down your unpaid balance. Okay. So on my calculator, I just leave that, and I just go minus 10,000. I know I get a negative value, but right, it doesn't matter to me. I know it's supposed to be positive. So after the first payment, the first payment is taken off your bank account. They're not taking the whole thing. They're taking this chunk and take it down. Okay. If you have highlighters, if that's your thing, I have a couple of colors here. The first one is the first color. I'm just going to tell you that this loan is what we start off with. That's our unpaid balance. Then, once we calculated the interest here, that number is being used here to figure out the principal. And then this number here is used to take off from the, so that's the, I just want you to see that. It's like a chain reaction. You find this, subtract, boom. This subtracts from the top, boom, right? So it's kind of like a chain reaction there. Have you seen this in grade 11? You should have, right? I don't know if this happened during COVID. I mean, don't know what happened there, right? We don't know. You were very busy paying attention. All right, so we take this number, guys. This one is now, we carry that number over with us. And we repeat the process as above. 4.25 divided by 100, watch this. You know, most of you know this already. That's 0.0425. So instead of writing it like this, I'm just going to go like that and then divide it by 12. And your answer will be different, right? You'll have a different answer here. So 9738.52 times 0.0425 divided by 12, 34.49. 34.49. Slightly less, yeah? You see that? Second month you pay a little bit less interest. That's a way to double check that you're doing things right. Then over here for the principal, take your payment, go minus the 34.49. That's 262.41. So as the months go by, the interest should drop, the principal should go up. And then you look up here, right? Green came over here, subtract. So you take this one, you go minus 262.41. It's 94.7611. One more month. Take that with you. And basically you just copy what you did before. Multiply by the interest rate. And see what you get there. I'm telling you that you get 33.56. And then you take your payment and you subtract the interest paid on the third month. And that's 263.34. One more row. You end up with 92.12.77. And this is exactly how loans work, guys, in the background. This is exactly how it works. I'm not making this up. You can go loan calculator, you do the first 3 rows, you'll get the exact same numbers. Maybe off by a couple of cents because they might use all decimals. So to finish this, and then I'll let you do one on your own. If we wanted to know like how much total paid to the bank in the first 3 months, so go TPB here. The first 3 months, if you were to add these up, you get 890.70 cents. Okay, the bottom of the table. If you wanted to know the total interest, TI, total interest you paid in the first 3 months, all these added up would give you 103.47. And the money that actually went towards paying off the loan, which we call principal, total principal, if you add that all up, that's 787.23. Okay. So in all, you paid this much, right? And the bank, out of the 890, took 103 so far, and the 787 actually went towards paying off your loan. So let's do this. How much did you pay over the 3 months? Grab this number and just go arrow there. How much interest did you pay over the 3 months? Take this number, take it to B, And total principal, you take this number and that goes to C. You can't see that, right? Can't see C, right? There you go. And that's your total principal after 3 months, that is, right? Total interest after 3 months, total payments over 3 months. If you can graduate and understand this, you know, you have a leg to stand on, right? When you go to your bank, you understand how the thing works. You might not know the numbers, but you understand. Okay, before you go today, I'm pretty sure you have enough time to finish that. Go to page 38 here real quick. Page 38. And you try that. If you want me to give you the answers, you look up. If you don't want the answers, sometimes students don't want the answer because it throws them off. But here they are. But you obviously want to make sure you get that number. So I'm going to give you that one, and I'm going to give you the very last one. So that way you kind of have an idea if you're doing things right. So on page 38, why don't you write these two numbers down, and then you try filling this in before we go. You got to find the payment and everything else. All right?